Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James. He had an outstanding fourth quarter where he really shined, pouring it on heavy down the stretch.
We all know, anytime you got LeBron James on the floor, he's going to bring that will to win. He has so many tools in his arsenal he can throw at you, not to mention his defense. Literally, any night he can take over a game. Tonight we saw King James exert his will on the game.
Anytime you deliver that.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Nothing goes together like the Pacers and Indiana as we get ready for an interconference contest here in Indianapolis. The Warriors are in the midst of a road trip going into this one. They've got to feel like, guys, they have an opportunity to rack up some wins over the next stretch of their schedule. They'll be playing a lot of games in their own building.
And coming off their championship last season, that success, I believe, carried right over into this one. They played at a high level all year long and stand poised to make another run at the title.
Certainly looks that way, Greg. I mean, some teams go through a little bit of a malaise or a hangover after a championship. Not these guys. They've had a terrific year.
So Indiana wins the tip. And so it's Golden State with it, coming off that loss against the Nets.
And I really felt in watching that game that they needed to abandon the three-point shot. It wasn't there. The percentage was horrific, but yet they continue to try and knock them down.
And I really think that's what did them in. I mean, sometimes it's just not there for you on the perimeter, and you can't try to shoot yourself out of a bad shooting night from outside.
And George gets it to go.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Warriors have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
And here is Hill, following Draymond Green's 3. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
Ezeli's checked in for Andrew Bogut. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Ellis with it. 20 points for him last game against the Utah Jazz.
And he also was a table setter in that game, Kevin. Just an amazing job with his passing. Just a joy to watch that.
They grabbed their own miss. Freak with it. He's against Ezeli. Mendez. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. This their first chance this season playing the Pacers.
In their meetings last year, they split the season series. Happens a fair amount between teams from the East and West.
And, you know, when you only see a team twice a year, Greg, it's hard to really get a good understanding of who they are or a good feel for them. And oftentimes, that can lead to a series split.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there. Look at the big fella working on that possession. He knows how to fend guys off and get those rebounds.
Near the three-point line, it's Ellis. That one off the back iron and out.
Nothing dropping for him, so I think in the best interest of his team, he may need to think about not shooting right now.
And the basket by Curry.
The only way he was getting to the hoop was to use the double clutch.
Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to the Jazz in Utah.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with the road win.
Good on the shot.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Now here's Ellis. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Indiana. And the Warriors also making a change. Barnes is checked in. Miles, that's for 2. That one's good from the corner. Miles has got his first bucket in this one.
Well, you know, last season, Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Now here's Ellis. And it's Klay Thompson with the rebound.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Pacers trail by 7. It's stolen by Curry. 1:12 left in the first. Dishes it to Green. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Now here's Curry following the miss by Freak. Kicks to Barnes. Puts up a 3. The rebound by Paul George. Pacers shooting a mere 25% from the floor in this first quarter. Hill with him. And Curry picks him up defensively. Curry against Hill. Pass to Ellis. Fires the 3. Can't get it to go.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter.
And there's the nice layup by Barnes.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat